Thanks everyone for being here. This is, I think, our first session officially in spring. So happy spring to you all. I hope that you're feeling some of the warmth and sort of thawing out from the sunshine. Yeah, both outer thawing and like that inner thaw. Yeah. So today I wanted to talk a bit for those who are joining for the first time, if there's anyone joining for the first time, by the way, the format of the session today, I'll talk for just a few minutes at the beginning here about a contemplative topic and the practice we're going to do. We'll then go into a practice and then have a few minutes at the end for reflections and questions and sharing. Please take good care of yourself. Choose a posture when we practice that feels comfortable for you, where you feel awake and aware, not going to sleep, but also relaxed. So we're playing with sort of both of those poles of like awakeness, but also relaxation. And option to close your eyes during practice. You'll see me closing my eyes because that's what I do to kind of come into my inner world. But if you don't feel comfortable doing it, you can just rest a soft gaze somewhere in front of you. And you showed up here. So you did the hardest thing. You showed up for your practice. So well done. Today, I thought we could do a practice that I've introduced before in some of these Mark Twain Library series, and it's a loving kindness meditation practice using affirmations with the language of like, may I be. So, may I be happy, or may I be well, may I be safe, may I live in peace. And one of the reasons I love this practice is because it's a mindfulness practice in that our object of focus is the phrases themselves, so that repetition, that sort of languaging for the mind to kind of chew on and focus on can be quite soothing, especially if our minds are feeling like a little bit scattered and like they need something to do, they want something. But the loving kindness aspect is the words themselves, the phrases themselves. And you'll hear me during the practice encouraging you all to be with the words like they're a medicinal balm, like they're a soothing balm to any struggles or sort of negative self-thoughts, self-critical thoughts, or challenges you're having in your life. And words and thoughts really can have this pretty strong power over how we experience ourselves and our lives. Sometimes I think about ourselves, our whole mind, body systems, our beings as our most primary environment. I mean, we're the ones who are with us throughout our whole lives. And we wouldn't want to place ourselves in an external environment, right, that feels like hostile or critical, or where we're being torn down a lot of the time. Why would we want to do that in these environments too, in our primary environment? So shifting the actual state of how we are with ourselves, it's really shifting our lives in that, yeah, it's like a whole new way of living in the environment that we're in all the time. Um, so yeah, I hope that feels helpful, the thinking about mind, body, being as an environment, like as a context in and of itself. And how do you want to cultivate that place, that space, that culture to be supportive for thriving and flourishing, for feeling good, for feeling happy and safe and well. When we learn to be less hostile with ourselves, it builds a sense of trust, like very deep within our nervous system, very deep within our psyche, so that just being present with oneself doesn't feel as threatening. It feels safer. It feels good. And we can support ourselves in doing that with this practice. Okay. One more thing before we start. I'll be guiding us in the languaging, the affirmations, and I'll use specific terms that we'll repeat. I say we because I'll be repeating them aloud, and then you'll have the opportunity to repeat them either aloud in your own space. But please make sure you're muted so the sound doesn't get wonky, or just in your mind, like you can think them as thoughts. When you do this practice on your own, you get to choose what words feel right. I'll be using general ones that Sharon Salzberg, she teaches this practice a lot, the ones she uses, but you can choose whatever you need most and use that term like, may I be XYZ. Okay. So we'll start and end today's practice with a bell, the sound of a bell. And go ahead and get comfortable and allow the sound of the bell to just invite you into a space of rest with yourself, rest in your mind, in your body, in your being. So allowing the bell and the silence that follows to invite you into that space of rest. Just signaling to your body, to your mind, to the whole of your being that this is a place to relax, to be gentle towards yourself, to allow a sort of stillness of body and mind to feel soothing and supportive, grounding and restful. Attuning to your physical body through noticing sensation, particularly the sense of touch. Relaxing into the surface that's supporting you from beneath or behind. Enjoying the comfort of warmth, maybe from your clothes or a shawl or blanket. Just softening into your space and into yourself in this moment without efforting, without trying too hard, just kind of softening into yourself. You might even notice for the first time today, is noticing that you're breathing, and taking a few moments to just kind of ride that rhythm of your breath without needing to shift or change anything. Noticing those rising up inhales and those falling away exhales. And particularly how the exhales invite a softening, a sort of melting or thawing out of any spaces of tension in your body and your mind, particularly around the jaw, the muscles of the face, that space between the eyebrows. Or quality of mindfulness of awareness, being infused with some warmth and care, some tenderness. So we're not just witnessing from a neutral space, we're actually softening into this space of care for self. Or if that feels like too much, even opening to the possibility of caring for self. At any point during this practice, you're welcome to rest hand at heart center, just feeling the warmth of your palm, if that supports you in connecting sort of viscerally in a warm way, a caring way with your own being. And deepening a little bit more, leaning more into this culture of care for ourselves, for our mind body system, the whole of our being. Go ahead and repeat these affirmations. We'll go through them several times, so no need to worry about memorizing them. But go ahead and repeat each phrase to yourself. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be well. May I live in peace. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be well. May I live in peace. There's no need to rush. There's plenty of time here. We'll continue 2 more times that round of phrases and then offer space for you to continue at your own pace. But we'll do it 2 more times together, allowing the words to be that soothing medicinal balm to any hostility within your body or mind, challenge. Truly wishing yourself well. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be well. May I live in peace. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be well. May I live in peace. Enjoying that soothing repetition of these phrases as you continue at your own pace. And I'll repeat them occasionally in case you get distracted or feel like you need some support. Allow yourself to be carried by these phrases, these affirmations of loving kindness. If thoughts or a sort of distraction comes, no problem. The noticing is evidence that your mind is awake and aware, and you have the choice to come back to the phrases themselves. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be well. May I live in peace. Giving yourself reassurance, support, kindness through these affirmations, through these heartfelt wishes. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be well. May I live in peace. There's no need to rush. There's nowhere to go. Just softening deeper into the soothing balm of loving kindness. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be well. May I live in peace. If you feel you're starting to go on autopilot or getting a little sleepy, you can always take a deep breath in through the nose, inviting some refreshment. And just rest your attention once again on actually feeling sincerity in the phrases, opening to the possibility of that. Knowing this is a soothing balm for your whole nervous system, for your mind, your heart. We'll go for about another minute here before shifting into one other piece of the practice. So just enjoying this next minute. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be well. May I live in peace. And then option to shift to a different space of this practice. If you're feeling like you need the loving kindness, go ahead and continue with yourself. If you'd like to expand outward this sense of loving kindness that you've generated, go ahead and bring into your mind, to your awareness, your space, a person or perhaps group of people who you'd like to offer some loving kindness to. Could be someone you know or people you don't know. And just slightly shift the phrasing. May they be happy. May they be safe. May they be well. May they live in peace. You might sense the loving kindness wishes like warmth or light, just kind of glowing and growing outward towards this person or people. May they be happy. May they be safe. May they be well. May they live in peace. We'll take just a few more moments here. And then on your next round, just gently bringing it to a close. Noticing any shifts in your system, the quality of your mind or heart, the quality of being you. And taking a moment to rejoice in any shifts experienced. And if no felt shifts are there, rejoicing in the practicing itself. Knowing that it's sure to yield results for the benefit of yourself and all sentient beings. And then noticing once again the physicality of your body, your breath. Maybe taking a couple of deep breaths in and out through the nose if possible, as you prepare to come back to our shared space. And at the sound of the bell, coming back for us to close our class. And if you're still kind of zenned out, enjoying that space too. Yeah. I wanted to mention, because I said it in the practice, the language of like my prompt to at least be open to the possibility of it, because sometimes switching gears all the way from like if we're feeling a lot of negativity or self-criticism or hardship within ourselves to just love yourself, it can feel like going from like first to fifth gear. Which of course, if anyone here drives a manual car, we know we have to go like through neutral. We've got to like make our way up. So if you ever feel a lot of resistance coming up around self-kindness or self-compassion, it's okay to plant the seed to just be open to the possibility of it. This is like going into neutral if you need that step. Yeah, it's so like that like holding ourselves to really high expectations and perfectionism, it's so insidious. Like it can come up even in these practices where ideally we're being just kind to ourselves, but still that thing of like, oh, well, I have to be self-compassionate, or like I need to get to this level of self-kindness. It's just very nuanced, but it can like come in there. So that's my way of intercepting that or addressing it and taking care of it rather.